In the summer of 1942, the city of Stalingrad became the focal point of one of the most brutal confrontations in human history. Located on the western bank of the Volga River, Stalingrad was both an industrial hub and a symbol of Soviet resistance, bearing the name of the Soviet leader himself. For Adolf Hitler, capturing the city promised strategic control of southern Russia and its vital oil routes, as well as a powerful psychological victory. What began as a military objective would soon transform into a fight of endurance, ideology, and survival that reshaped the course of the Second World War. The German offensive towards Stalingrad was part of Operation Blue, launched in the summer of 1942 after the failure to defeat the Soviet Union quickly. German forces advanced rapidly across the southern steppe, supported by Romanian, Italian, and Hungarian allies. By August, the Luftwaffe unleashed devastating air raids on Stalingrad, reducing much of the city to rubble and killing tens of thousands of civilians. Yet the destruction did not break Soviet resistance. Instead, it created a landscape of ruins that favored defenders willing to fight for every street, factory, and staircase. As German troops entered the city, the battle devolved into close-quarters combat of unprecedented intensity. The fighting became known as Rattenkrieg, or Rat War, where soldiers clashed at distances of only a few meters. Factories like the Red October, the Barricade, and the tractor factory changed hands repeatedly, sometimes several times in a single day. Snipers stalked ruined buildings, artillery fire was constant, and supply lines were perilously thin. The Volga River, under relentless German fire, became the lifeline for Soviet reinforcements and supplies, ferried across at night at enormous cost. The Soviet defense was organized under General Vasily Chuikov, whose strategy emphasized holding the enemy as close as possible to negate German air and artillery superiority. Soviet troops were ordered to stand their ground, often with little hope of retreat. Losses were staggering on both sides, but the Red Army continued to feed men into the city, driven by the belief that Stalingrad must not fall. By November 1942, the German Sixth Army, commanded by General Friedrich Paulus, had pushed deep into the city but was exhausted, overstretched, and vulnerable. That vulnerability became clear on November 19, 1942, when the Soviet Union launched Operation Uranus. Instead of striking the heavily defended city center, Soviet forces attacked the weaker Axis flanks north and south of Stalingrad, held largely by Romanian troops. The offensive achieved a rapid breakthrough. Within days, Soviet pincers closed around Stalingrad, encircling more than 250,000 Axis soldiers inside the city. For the first time in the war, an entire German army was trapped. Hitler refused to authorize a breakout, insisting that Stalingrad be held at all costs. He promised that the Luftwaffe would supply the encircled forces by air, but the effort proved disastrously inadequate. Winter tightened its grip as temperatures plunged, food and ammunition ran out, and disease spread. German soldiers endured freezing conditions, starvation, and constant Soviet pressure. Meanwhile, Soviet forces tightened the ring, launching Operation Ring to crush the trapped army. By January 1943, organized German resistance was collapsing. Soviet troops advanced sector by sector through the ruins, capturing strongpoints, then splitting the encircled forces in two. On January 31, Paulus surrendered the southern pocket of the Sixth Army, followed days later by the remaining northern forces. It was the first time a German field marshal, a rank Paulus had been promoted to just days earlier, surrendered to the enemy. The defeat shattered the myth of German invincibility. The human cost of the Battle of Stalingrad was immense. Estimates suggest that more than 2 million soldiers and civilians were killed, wounded, or captured. The city itself was almost completely destroyed. Yet its significance extended far beyond the ruins along the Volga. Stalingrad marked a decisive turning point on the Eastern Front. From that moment onward, the German army was largely on the defensive. while the Red Army gained momentum that would carry it westward toward Berlin. The Battle of Stalingrad stands as a testament to the extremes of human endurance and the devastating cost of total war. It was a clash driven by ideology as much as strategy, fought not only for territory but for symbols and pride. In the frozen ruins of a shattered city, the direction of the Second World War was irrevocably changed, and the balance of power on the Eastern Front began its long, relentless shift.